E eu queria perguntar que conselhos vocês, como escritores bons e famosos, têm para dar para nós, jovens que queremos ou gostamos de escrever livros?
Couple of things. I noticed that just in terms of the interviews I've been doing while I've been here, there's a debate going on in this country about the value of creative writing courses. And I was a student on a creative writing course when I was in my early 20s. And I found it very, very helpful. I think one of the misunderstandings about creative writing courses is that they teach you anything. They don't teach you anything. They don't say this is how you write a book. You start like this, and then something happens here, and then something happens here. What a creative writing course is for is an environment where maybe, in my case, 12 people gathered together for a year, all writing novels, all giving each other work to read, discussing it. You're learning from their criticism of your work, and you're learning from your criticism of their work. You learn as much from reading other people's work in the creative writing class as you do from hearing what they have to say to you. So I think it's very helpful to join creative writing classes, or if you're very young and if you have friends who are writing as well, just give each other stories to read and be honest with each other. Say 10 minutes each, and everybody has to say something good and something bad, and you have to listen. Now, we also had in our creative writing class, we always had a rule that when somebody was talking about your work, you couldn't speak. So you couldn't stand up and say, no, that's not what I meant. Because if you publish a novel, you're not there when the reader is reading it and misunderstanding it. You're not there to say, no, I didn't mean this or I didn't mean that. You have to learn how to write it so that what you mean is there. So there's that. There's writing every single day. I remember one of the best pieces of advice I ever heard was from another Irish writer, Maeve Binchy. Do you have Maeve Binchy here? Yeah. And Maeve said that if you write one page a day, at the end of the year you'll have 365 pages, which is longer than the average novel. And it seems very simple, but it makes a lot of sense. Anybody can write a page a day. And the third thing, and the most important thing of all, is reading. If you're not reading, you're never going to be a writer.
I completely agree with you. Just let me tell you. I did a great mistake when I started to write. I was writing a 500 pages novel. I knew it was, I believed I was 19 years old when I started. I believed it was a 3 years novel. I think maybe it would give me a Nobel Prize. But I was in the most stupid mistake I ever do. I didn't let anyone read it before I sent it to the publishing house. And it was not published. It will never be published. Because I was in no interaction with other people about it. But the book has been like a, do you say stone, where you cut stone from the mountain? Yeah, I have used elements from that in every novel I've written later. But the literary form, from an aesthetic point of view, it was not at all good. But very many of my thoughts I've used in later writing is taken from that book. At least I believe it's taken from that book. That was the book. I should have let people read the first chapter.
Also, I remember I had a friend back in Dublin who when I used to work in a bookshop, who was also writing. And he used to write this enormous amount. He was writing, 3 novels a year or something. But every time he finished one, he wouldn't go back and rewrite it. He thought it was perfect. And it never was. One of the major keys to writing, one of the major things is rewriting. The first draft is a big mess. There's a basic idea in there, something is working somewhere, but it's just an idea. And rewriting, if it takes 20 drafts, you have to keep doing that. Too many people, I think, particularly young writers starting out, write something and they think, this first draft is brilliant. And a novel should, when you write that first draft, so many things will be suggesting themselves. Characters will be changing. So things will be happening on page 200 that you had never imagined at page 50. But you have to rewrite it to go back to page 50 and leave some sort of future trail, to suggest things that are going to happen in the future. So rewriting is my fourth.
Astrid Lindgren was asked this question, the secret behind your successful novels for young people. And she said exactly that. I'm writing it many times, 20 times, she said.
Olá, boa tarde. Meu nome é Vitor, eu sou professor de filosofia. Boa tarde, meu nome é Vitor, eu sou professor de filosofia. E a minha pergunta, ela complementando a anterior, eu gostaria de saber o que os motiva e os inspira a criar uma nova história, contar uma nova história, e qual é o processo de trabalho, o método de trabalho para transformar essa história em um livro.
Very, very brief answer. The way I'm working is that I'm walking when I'm conceiving the stories I write. So I feel very stupid in front of the computer, and I feel even more stupid if I drink a glass of wine in front of the computer, or 2 or 3 as I tried 25 years ago with the bad result I told you already about. But I cannot move my thoughts without at the same time moving my body. So that is my secret. There are no more secrets. I have the story much in my head when I start to write. Then I can sit in front of the computer all the day. But the beginning, and often also the end of the story, I have in my mind. But I don't know how to come from the beginning to the end. Then the process of writing would be too sterile. Sterile, yes. So that's the way I work. It works for me.
My motivation is purely instinctive in the sense that I can't not write. That the joy that it gives me, the sense of myself that it gives me on a daily basis, that if I'm not working on a project, I feel unhappy. Simple as that. I recently finished a new novel that I sent off to my editor. And I had another idea bubbling in my head for a while, and I had to start it the next day because I couldn't be without a book. I couldn't be without something to work on. Even here, however many thousands of miles I am from home. This morning in the hotel, I spent 2 hours working on a book. Without that, it's like not eating and not breathing.
May I ask you a question? Because I understand that you're very passionate and have to write. That's the way you live. I am not publishing books as frequently as I did before. I often have the feeling that what I came out of my childhood with, the impulses I have from my background, from my childhood, I have written about it. I feel sometimes my mission is fulfilled. I don't know whether I will write many more books. Will you imagine that you can just write new things all your life without any stop to it?
I hope so. I have lots of ideas still, and I hope I have lots of life left. I'm still only in my 30s, and I can't imagine stopping. One thing a writer doesn't do really is retire. My father is always saying to me, to be careful with money because, one day you're going to retire and you're going to need a pension. And I'm always saying to him, look, I'm not going to be retiring. I'm not going to hit 65 and turn off my computer and say that's it, my work is done. I'll be in the middle of a book when they bury me.
Hi, Jostein. My name is Bienal. I'm an architect and kind of a writer too. That's a hobby. But in your last novel, you mentioned the spirits book. Is that the same book? Are the Painel book the same book spiritualist people read it here in Brazil? And the main question is that the most important question is, what's your personal belief? Are you a science man or are you a religion man?
The last question was whether I am
a science man or a religion man.
Let me take the first question first. Yes, I'm referring to the book by Alan Gaarder called Spiritual.
You actually know this
The
book.
book of the Spirit. I actually know it, and I'm telling the story how these young people I'm writing about found a copy of this book in Norwegian, published in, I think, in 1893. It was written in France in 50s or 60s, 1860s, yeah. And I'm also aware that here in Brazil, this spiritistic religion is more alive than it today is in Britain or Europe, you know. I am writing a story which is an encounter between two complete different ways of perceiving human existence and life, you know. It's about a couple who lived together in a very strong love relationship for more than 30 years ago, and they had an experience together. They gave such different interpretations that they couldn't live together anymore. And then they take up this discussion more than 30 years later. Yes, when I started to write the story, I felt absolutely, and I do feel, closer to the man, to Jostein is called. But I had to shape the woman. I had to give her arguments. I had to give her a background, a childhood. I had to give her parents. I had to shape her, you know. And today I think she's more alive than the man. He's more dry in his way of talking. More and more it became an interior, you know, debate within my own mind. Because I think that this very spiritualistic way of experiencing the human life, I don't consider it to be ridiculous anymore. I think it is an opportunity I have to consider. But still, I am, and I will say one last sentence, I still am like the male person, completely believing in all natural science. But she is also, the woman is also believing in astrophysics, in Big Bang, in Darwinism, but she says that doesn't give the whole truth. She says that they talk only about the matter, you know. Darwinism and astrophysics is only dealing with matter. But then it is the spiritualistic dimension. Well, but still I am standing more on the rational, scientific ground than the woman in the book. Okay, sorry. Long.